We are live. What's up, Jennifer?
Hello, Jesse. How are you? How was your birthday week?
Oh, it's interesting. I don't normally, historically, I don't like celebrate my birthday.
Right.
Um, but I've come to terms with that. Mara and Louie helped me, really amazing friends. They're like, Jesse, people want to celebrate you. Freaking let them
Yes.
celebrate you. Like, okay, fine. So it was an emotional roller coaster, not because of my birthday necessarily, um, but I had a lot of other life stuff going on.
Yep.
The
Hence the
birthday
reason we're this
cherry on
Saturday
top.
instead of last Saturday.
What's that?
Says hence the reason we're doing this today instead of last Saturday. We had a
Yes,
lot of
yes.
things.
So last Saturday we had to reschedule because I had a family emergency, and so we pushed it to today, which is awesome. And I'm hoping the feeds are going out in all the right places because this is the first time in 4 years that we've ever had to reschedule or
I
cancel.
know.
But I think on the upside, Jen, it's like we have back-to-back live streams. What do you
We
think
do.
about
So we
that?
have another one next weekend. Exactly.
Woo-hoo-hoo. So let's
Right
see if
before Christmas. I mean, we're going to make sure you have your outfit on.
oh yeah, right before Valentine's. You know how excited I get about it. It's freaking amazing.
Or maybe the Grinch will show up. Just saying.
Maybe the Grinch may make an appearance. But yeah, so birthday, I went and had a meeting with Keon because we're cooking up something. We're cooking something up. We'll just leave it at that. And they surprised me with the awesome tres leches like birthday cake with the candle, which was totally cool. And then yesterday I had breakfast here in San Antonio with all the freakos, right? Brian Winningham, Sean Kirby, Bobby, bunch of folks,
That's a
and they
rock star.
got me. What's that?
That's a rock star group.
Oh man, amazing group of people. And they ordered some sopapillas. So I had sopapilla breakfast,
Nice.
birthday kind of thing. So it's been awesome, girl. It's been awesome. So
Very nice.
we're back. Man, we already got people in the comments. We got Mr. Clyde. What's up, Clyde? Yes, it has been crazy. We got the chief marketeer, Steve Martin, freezing up in Connecticut, which is awesome. All right. So today, Jen,
Yes.
what are we talking about?
Well, this is a carryover. So you and I, we talk a lot about things. And so the last time we talked, it was red flags, things that kind of like, are these the things that are helping me go in the direction that I want, or are they taken away? And so then we're like, well, the great next conversation would be, okay, so now I have a direction. Like, or now I kind of know this is good, this is helping me, this is not. Are we still making decisions that are kind of like, maybe, yeah, or do we know where we're going? And so it was kind of, that was our conversation. And we're like, ooh, so then what in our life is getting us moving in that direction versus the distractions or the things that like are keeping us maybe in a space that aren't getting us to the promise we're supposed to be.
I like, and which like adds structure to the red flag idea,
Yes.
right? Because, and I think you pointed it out, right? This idea about red flags was really more about people's behaviors and personalities and how to like filter them out, which is good, but for what purpose, right? Like, sure, to, have peace and calm and all those things. I get it. But in terms of like massive growth, like, how about let's have a conversation about that? Like, how do we know what is the thing that helps us get on the path so that those red flags have more meaning and are more impactful?
Yes.
And so that's how we got to this. So looking forward, tribe, everybody out there in the Omniverse, let us know you're there. Jen, you want to tell them, give them a blue heart punch in the eye?
Yes, absolutely. So we do ask if you're out there and you're listening and you're here listening to us this morning, and either it's your first time where we've just come across your feed and you're like, what is going on with these crazies? Or you're a lurker, kind of like Steve today, that you've been listening, but you haven't really engaged or typed or, let us know you're there. Our ask is that if you aren't ready to engage 100%, just put a blue heart in the comments. And what that does is it signals to us, number one, we want to celebrate you because we don't really know who's there unless there's a comment. So it just lets us know, hey, you're out there. We want to recognize you. We want our tribe to connect with you, engage with your content, stuff like that. So if you're new or if you've been lurking and now you kind of want to let us know you're there, please put a blue heart. We would love that. And then also when you add anything, a blue heart, a smiley face, anything that you want to comment, anything at all, it puts you into the randomizer. And the randomizer is something that happens during our live stream at the end, because there's stuff Jesse and I do outside of this that I'll let him talk about. But what it does is it puts you in the pot to get a free month of hanging out with us outside of the live stream. So Jesse,
yes.
What do they when they win the randomizer?
Yeah. So but again, to reinforce what you just said, drop a comment in the chat, right? What shout out, hearts, whatever. That'll get you in the randomizer. And so what that means is at the top of the hour, we're going to do the little raffle-y thing. If your name gets selected, you will get free access for a month to Emotional Bungee Jumpers and the Cultivation Crew, where, Emotional Bungee Jumpers, I think the two outcomes come from that experience. One is you walk away with an understanding or a practice of how to be better connected with the human beings around you. Mm-hmm. The number two thing, or maybe number one, depending on what you value, is you walk away with the skill set to have unforgettable conversations, yes. Right? Like over and over, I get a lot of feedback. I'm sure you get it too. Just like, man, I love talking to you. It's so easy. Like you understand, you listen, like da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, thank you. And I know where I built those skills.
Yes.
Emotional bungee jumpers. So you already know, drop your comments, ask your questions, add your value, so that you can get in the randomizer, and that'll give you free access for 1 month to Emotional Bungee Jumpers and the Cultivation Crew.
Yes.
So are we going to talk about this thing, Jen? Should I slap it like a question?
But we're going to pose a question out. So if you're out there and you're listening, Jesse's going to pose a question that kind of gets the conversation started based on our topic today.
Yes. So here is the question, right? So the title of the thing is, are your decisions tied to your direction? And it's easy for me to answer that because I know what my direction is. But if you don't, it gets very difficult.
It does.
And so for you folks out there in the Omniverse, how do you personally, let's give this some context or help us understand your perspective, because y'all already know I'm twisted. I think of things weird. And so it may not make sense. And I want to help me make it make sense for you. How do you personally define direction right now in your life or at work? There's no wrong answers. I'm not going to give you a report card for your parents to sign. It's in my head, it's a simple question, but maybe it's not. And if it's causing you to think and reflect and say, ooh, never thought about that. Mission accomplished. So Jen, there's the question for the audience. What do we do? Do we just sit? Should we just chill out and wait until somebody answers?
No. So we're going to answer the question too while they're thinking about it. And so just first, how do you personally define direction right now in your life?
Yeah. So it's going to be a kind of hairy answer. So ring me in. You already know. You know how to manage me. The way I think about direction is similar to how people think about 5, 10, 15, 20-year plans or goals. Okay. That's the only parallel I can compare it to, because when people ask me, what's your 5-year plan and 10-year plan? I'm like, that's milestones, mm-hmm. Right? So for me, the direction is really, where am I headed? What do I want to contribute? What do I want to experience? Where am I headed? And based on I know the direction I'm headed. And one important thing that helps me a lot is there's no end point. So right in my head, 5-year, 10-year goals, that kind of thing, those are destinations. Those are end points. And I've lived it that way. I've lived life that way. Mm-hmm. And so I would get to the goal, and then it's ooh, They were always underwhelming. I mean, and they were pretty amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like I've had some amazing experiences, but then it was like, meh, what's next?
Yep.
And so when I shifted my thinking to like, what is my direction? That changed the game for me because there's no end to it, right? And it helps inform my decisions. Like, is this going to take me off the path? Sometimes the answer is yes. But if it's only 2 or 3 degrees, that's okay because I can come back to the path. It's easier for me to get back on the path. If it's going to take me 90, 120 degrees, it's an easy no. Why? Because it's unless I decide to change my entire direction. And so kind of like our buddy, Mr. Bernard, yesterday was Bernard's birthday.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday, Bernard.
Yeah. So assuming a path to a goal, right? I think of it a little differently. I think of it as there's going to be a shitload of goals that I'm accomplishing on the path.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it's the inverse of that. And so for me, what's my path? Where am I headed? What is the direction I'm on? So my direction is I want to introduce people to the person they are intended to be. I am going to do that by sharing my gifts and talents to help them achieve that, right? That's where I'm headed, which I know sounds a little wishy-washy, but it keeps me focused on serving others. That's the path. When I'm doing stuff that's not serving others, guess what? I'm not on the path. I'm off direction. I need to make different decisions. The gifts and talents part is I've already been blessed with gift and talents. And here's the magical thing is as I continue going forward with not the little goals, right? Just staying on the path, going down the direction, I discover new gifts and talents. Or the gifts and talents that I was naturally born with get reinforced and get more gooder. And again, along the way, there's a lot of little goals, but to me, goals are small because they're finite, right? Now, I also want to be clear. I'm not judging people for having goals. Just, I know that thinking doesn't work for me. It's very limiting. It's the goals are always, even crazy, wild ass goals are always smaller than what I actually experience since I changed my thinking about focusing on direction. What do you think, Jennifer?
No, yes, all of that, and I love. I think for what I heard is like you know what your purpose is, and you know why you're here.
Yep.
And as I'm making decisions on what's next or where I'm going to be or the time that I'm going to spend or the conversations I'm going to have, like, is that taking me towards that or is that distracting?
Yes.
That's
yes. Yeah. It totally helps because, well, example, we got Mr. Alec McChesney.
Good morning.
What's up, Alec? Thanks for showing up. Right. Like it totally helps because when I come across amazing people, like we just did with Alec, and this No BS live stream that we've been doing now for 4 freaking years.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I know you've had this conversation with people. It's like, well, what's the ROI? Like how much revenue is No BS? Like it's not generating any revenue. Like that's not why I do it. Right. Like if my goal was to spend 90% of my time on only revenue generating activities, guess what I wouldn't be doing? I wouldn't be doing this, right? Because it's a lot of work and it's not bringing any money. But what it has done, being on the path to serve others, it is an outlet to serve people, to share ideas. And then we have feedback. It's connected us with Alec, right? Like amazing human beings that are also out there in the industry. It's helped us contribute to like cultivating this community of people that need whatever this actually is. That is on my path.
Yes.
Period. So it helps me make decisions really quickly, right? Sure. Could we turn this into a webinar that required to build an email list that has a pay gate and like all of that bullshit? Yeah, I know how to do that. But that's not on the path. Right. That's a little goal that would minimize the impact. And I promise you, I think you know this, Jen, had we decided this was going to be this revenue generating thing, it would not be live right now.
It would not.
Yeah.
And it may not even be still going at this point.
100%. Like it would be dead. It would like just stop this shit.
Yes.
And so back to direction, right? It's I think Bernard, it's he could smell what we're cooking up here. It's like many goals on the path. And I think also for me, it leaves space for amazing, unforeseen shit to happen.
Yes.
How about you, Jen? Where are you on this idea of direction?
So can you bring the question back up? Because I want to make sure I say it the way that it needs to be said.
Yes.
So direction for me is number one, I think, and you hit this home. I want to say it again, is I got to have a goal. And it doesn't have to be the end goal, the one that's going to make everything better. And for me, and you had one similar, which I love, is my goal is to value the human being in front of me.
Yes.
So like that's at the core in every decision I make is this valuing the human beings that I interact with every day, that I get to value and celebrate and, highlight and all the things. Is it valuing them? Is it recognizing them? Is it interacting, listening, whatever it is? Is it valuing them? So that's my end goal, no matter what, is at any point, Jesse, when you leave an interaction with me, was she distracted? Did she have a lot going on? Was I the most important person in front of her when we were doing something? That's important to me. And that doesn't mean I don't screw it up, because I do a lot of times. But
because you're human, yeah.
But that's my goal, is that when I am engaging with people, that valuing the human being in front of me. And so as I'm that's my end goal in any interaction, home, life, it doesn't matter. That person feels like I am giving them what they need. And I don't know that usually until I get in front of them. But so if that's my end game, then the decisions that I'm making along the way are building blocks.
Yep.
And that's how that's, to me, those when I say direction, I'm building the building blocks that are getting me closer to something bigger that I don't even know yet. But the moral compass that I use when I'm making those decisions into those building blocks is it valuing the human being in front of me? Is it valuing the human being that's going to be in the room? Is it valuing people in an industry that is so broken and so hurt and so just wrong that, there's a lot of things that they deal with every day that some of them I don't have to deal with. And some of them I see and I'm like, how can I impact something that massive? And I know I can't change everything, but because of my end game, I can change every interaction. I can impact 100%. Every interaction. And because of our platform and because of the amazing things you and I get to do, I get to reach a lot of people.
Yes.
And so to me, that's how I personally define. And even before it was a lot of what I just said, it has transformed into even when I'm home, when I'm dealing with my that's not the right word. When I'm engaging with my 2 teenage daughters, do they have my attention? Am I focused on them? Am I valuing them and their struggles and their issues and their hormones, whatever it is? Am I valuing those things in front of me and not getting distracted, not getting on my phone, not like really, really listening, and then being able to provide, feedback or just be there, whatever it is. Like I've transformed into those building blocks have helped me to be able to bridge both of those areas.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Super love it. You know what? I forgot to show everybody's freaking comments on the stage. Oh. Sorry, folks. Okay. So I want to test. I'm going to ask you a question so that people can kind of, if they're not on the direction thinking, that'll help them. Now, you said your direction, what I understood was, am I serving the person in front of me? Which I love, right? Because that's the ultimate thing, right? Serve the person in front of you. Everybody else will be fine. Now, when you come across people that aren't focused on serving the person in front of them, and maybe more specifically, when you come across people and they are about taking from the person in front of them, does that help you make a decision about that person?
It does, Jesse. But I also need to give a little disclaimer in there is throughout my journey, for the longest time, I looked at everybody the same. So everybody has value. Okay. Everybody can be better. Everybody, is important. Like, and again, that hasn't changed.
Right.
That hasn't changed at all. So I value every interaction. What I've learned on my journey is that some of these people, I am crossing paths with them, and it's not the right time for anything that I can do.
Yeah.
And so there are times where it's not, that person's not as important as this person. It's if they are detracting from what is important to me, if they are a distraction that are making it, that keeping me from focused on something that, and you and I use this term a lot, feeding the hungry.
Yep.
When I have people that are hungry and starving for the stuff that you and I get to lead and do, like that is where my focus goes. It doesn't mean they're less important. They are just, we're not in the right season of life right now. Like you're on a path, I'm on a path, and our paths are not aligned. And so I have to respect them. I can be kind to them. I can give them what, that moment of like clarity, and then I need to keep going, else I will get distracted and I will get pulled away. And then I may be trying, like you said, and you say this so well, it's like I can focus on the squeaky wheel all the time, and we're never going to move anywhere.
Yep.
Or I can know what's happening. I can be aware of it. I can acknowledge it. And then we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep going. And again, I've had to, throughout my journey, had to decide, like, I can't, I'm not the answer for everybody. And I think you say this all the time. Not everybody likes my flavor.
That's it. Yeah. And they can catch up if they want to, right? Like you're not kicked out. You just need to catch up. Like if you're ready. But more importantly, the point, and thank you for your like going deeper in the explanation, knowing what your direction is helps you differentiate, right? Make a quick decision like, oof, love you as a human being. And I'm going to be more intentional about how much time, energy, and focus I give you, because the likelihood is if I'm giving it to you, I'm not giving it to this other thing.
Yeah.
And so because of that, keep being awesome, catch up when you want. I got to go and do this thing.
Well, I want to add, Jesse, and I don't like dropping books very often, just because I know all of us are reading a lot of amazing things. But in the goal, I don't want to clarify, because in the goal, well, I don't remember his name, the one with the heavy
Eli Gold, Kirby, not Kirby.
Anyway, in the book, like just because someone is lagging behind, just because someone's not doing those things, like I don't just go, "Oh, you're just too slow." Like I do stop to acknowledge, is there an opportunity here for me to help? Is there something else going on that like they don't realize? And it's really, you and I've learned through our questions and through the way that we engage with people, it gets clear really quick.
Yes. So, Herbie had to take the cast iron skillet out of his bag. Yeah. And there was a lot of other things, but there are some people that don't want to take the skillet out of their bag.
Exactly. And that's okay.
You get to carry it, and you're going to stay behind. Yes. If you let me help you carry it, then we can move forward together. Yeah. So Steve just confirmed it is Herbie.
Thank you, Steve.
If you haven't read the book, you should. It's a really great book. Now, so let's go to the comments. You know this awesome lady?
I do. And she's been all over. Her and Chrissy are just blowing things up in the Carolinas.
Yeah. Out there with ABC in the Carolinas.
Yes.
Says, love it. Path to serve others. Love y'all. Love you too, sister. Steve Martin, more wisdom, right? Moving on, #trajectory toward the promise and purpose I'm intended to be. Love it. My brother Rolando, Coach Rowe, he says, experience and knowledge can help others, especially if the relationship has trust. It really does allow the person to unlock an extra checkpoint in their path. Right? And I think for me, thank you, bro. Like that's my, I guess, observation that I've made. I have an addiction, maybe a compulsion is probably more accurate, to resonate with people that are at an inflection point in their life. Like it just calls to me, and I'm like, ooh, let's go. And I can't, like, I just, it's not a plan. It's not anything. I just kind of feel like, oh, well, let's talk. And then kind of help them get there or figure out whether they actually want to do it or not. You and I have had many of these conversations, and I talk to a lot of people all the time. I think I accidentally did it yesterday morning at breakfast. And after I'm driving home, and I'm like, oh man, I kind of got all in his business. But he was okay with it. And that kind of the reflection was like, oh, I know why. Because for me, it was obvious that he's at this point of like, I think I want something different. I think I want to have a different experience. And that's like freaking steak on a barbecue. Like, give me that. I want to gobble that up. Anyways. So, all right. So do you think we beat up this question enough?
Yeah, but I want to make one more comment. I think based on what you just said too, is we interact with a lot of people, and
yes.
in the trust part, like I know like that's important, but part of it is how we show up consistently. So I want to make a point because I experienced something this week that just made my heart happy. So I have to share it. So, but it's how we show up. And Jesse, you and I, early on when we decided we were going to do some stuff, is we're going to be genuine. We're going to be authentic. Okay. We're going to be probably a little bit vulnerable. And that's where our no BS, our real talk, that's where the platform came from. And are you doing it because of the rooms you're in? Are you being a certain way because of who's in the room?
Yep.
Or are you consistently showing up the same way? Because to me, that's when you can really see like when it matters or when it's right. If you're changing depending on your environment, then you're probably getting triggers and flags and oh, these things are right, but it's right for what?
Yes.
Is it right for this one? But then you change direction as soon as you walk out the door, or you change direction as soon as you're in a room where you're trying to fluff up like whatever it is. One, like the importance of this conversation is, do you know where you're trying to go? And
yes.
If it's followers, if it's ROI, like those are places that you want to go. So we're not
100%.
mixing that. That's just not ours.
Right.
But if that's what it is, it helps you get clear on those steps. So this week, again, if you don't know me and you haven't shared space with me, like one, I'm big and I come in sometimes like a wrecking ball, but I also love to hug people. So if I see you and you're coming into my space, sometimes even if I've never met you before, but I am a hugger. And this week I got to be in a room with 40 of our big, our leaders of our company. And it's literally, they now expect when they walk in, I stand up and they know I'm going to hug them. Like it is what it is. Some of them, I think I'm the only person in the company that hugs them because no one else would even try it. And we were leaving and one of them looked at me and goes, "You give the best hugs." And and again, that may not mean much to a lot of people. But because of the importance of I want to value the person in front of me, that is my goal.
Yeah.
That moment of someone just acknowledging that means, Jennifer, you're doing the right things.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, so that now, it's gonna. I'm gonna rearrange the sequence of our question. Because you just opened the door.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pose this question to everybody out there in the Omniverse, to the No BS tribe. What's your thoughts? And I want to hit on one more time on this direction thing because it's something I really want to make sure people understand. But the question is this: how do you filter out the signals from the noise? Because what you just described, Jen, was the signal. Somebody saying, "Man, you give the best hugs." For you, that was. Hell yeah, I'm doing it, right? This is happening. I call them the whispers. You and I, you know that.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
I call them the whispers. We'll talk about that. But you touched on something about like consistency and showing up and not kind of changing direction. And like for real, if I had to put it on a timeline as to when I like got direction in my life, I'm going to say it was probably 8 or 9 years ago. Now, I want to be clear. I used the word got direction, and that's not really what happened. I finally freaking picked a direction.
Uh-huh.
Right. And so for a lot of, I know for me, when I was in that state of mind, like, what's the right one and what if, and and you know what? Like the freaking truth is, it doesn't freaking matter.
Mhm.
Pick the direction. And I started going down the path. It's like, oh, I need a little, oh, right. And so early on, and so folks, if you're out there, in this direction thing is maybe landing with you, don't get it twisted. It's not like you're going to pick a direction and then freaking blast off.
And you're stuck.
Right. You're going to pick a direction and you're going to, because I selected a direction, it was very easy for me to go down the path and say, oh, okay, that's way not, no. And just calibrate and recalibrate until it got super, super clear. Now, I'll also say, before I finally picked a direction, this is what my progress in life looked like.
Yes.
Right? Because I was, hey, you should consider getting your PMP. You should consider being a project executive. You should start your little business. You should work for a nonprofit. And like, yes. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, because I had not selected a direction. And just like everybody out there in the Omniverse, I have some potential. And so when people would say, hey, you got great potential, what about this? Okay. And I was going nowhere, right? And I felt lost and I felt stuck. So I want folks to know that, like, if you're in this ever turning thing, or another example is when I decided to start my business. Like, I don't know what business is. I want to do online stuff. I don't know how to do that either. I'm going to YouTube University. I'm going to talk to my friends that have done something. And every damn fool out there has a different way, a different program, a different cheat code. And if I don't pick a direction, guess what? I'm going to do all of them. And the truth is, freaking pick one. So anyways, as it relates to this idea of direction, pick one.
Yes.
And get started. Go ahead.
And you just did a visual that I think is very important for people to realize. Like, when you said, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I think we get confused on, like, we are not here on our path every time. Like what
Correct.
Jesse did when he turned his back, that's when the alarm should be going off. Because you and I talk a lot about, there's going to be a time where I got to, like, take a little step back and reassess. I'm still looking at my goal. I got to sidestep and go over here, but I'm still seeing where I'm going. I got, like, it's a dance, but you're still focused on what that end game is. When you turn around and get pulled in directions, and all of a sudden you're not seeing that end game, that whatever you've defined it to be, then that's when the alarm bell should be going off. Because
100%.
I'm doing something right now that, one, is not on my path. It is not a good choice. It is not something that's getting me to what I think is what I want to do. Why are you doing it?
Why? Right. Yeah. And challenge it. And to your point, I mean, sometimes you got to get off and chill in the rest area.
No. Right.
That's okay. Like there are going to be things, and I've faced them on my path, that were not in the direction, but because of life and circumstances and things, I had to do them. But I got to get back on the path. Yep. Right. And then another thing, hopefully it's obvious, but just in case it ain't, you get to change the direction anytime you want.
Anytime.
Like it's, and I think that, again, going back to this goal thinking, because they're finite. And again, maybe that's just in my head, but I view goals as finite, right? And so there's a few formulas, recipes to achieve the particular goal. So I just need to do those things to get there. And if I don't do those things, I'm not going to achieve the goal, and it takes massive focus. And so I'll just do the goal. Sometimes my goals are not on the path. Right. And they restrict my thinking, whereas this other way is just more flexible. So if you need a flexible way to, like, really start making some progress, discover yourself, and honor the person in front of you to the degree that you actually can, consider this idea about direction.
Now,
Now,
Jesse, who are we accountable to? Like whenever I have a goal, I know what my goal is, right? I want to serve the person in front of me. Who am I accountable to?
I don't know about you, Jen, but I am only accountable to the commitments that I make, period. So what does that mean? That means you cannot hold me accountable.
Nope.
I am an accountable person to the commitments I make. If you didn't secure a commitment from me, you can chew my ass all day long and it ain't going to have no impact. But if you get a commitment from me, I am going to be accountable to my commitment and we're going to make something happen. There's no need to hold me. But I think your point is, Jen, like it's your bag, right? Yes. Make your decision. And if you want to change it, and I get this, like, well, why are you doing that? That doesn't realize like, yeah. Thank you for challenging me because I need that, right? It helps me get clarity. And Steve Martin brought it in, right? Feedback, asking others. I've intentionally joined on the journey. Are we still heading in the right direction? Right. And so, which takes us to the signals and the noise. Change your direction anytime you want. Have a direction. How do you do that? Pick one and go there. Because it'll settle the static, and it has for me. So in terms of like, how do you filter the signals from the noise, Jen? I think you've given some examples. But what is it about this question you think is important?
Well, to me, it's the busy question. That's the easy. That's for me. It's for a long time because I was busy, then I was doing the right things.
Ooh.
I mean, I was filling my day. I was checking boxes. I was doing all the things that in my mind, other people needed me to do. And because I was busy, then I was doing the right things. And I think, but I don't even at that point, if I hadn't defined even what my path is or what my goal is, then how can I even decipher? Is this a signal that gets me closer to something bigger? Or if I'm just running around and I'm busy and then I get to go to bed at night and I get to get up in the morning, I get to do it again. And I know people that are like it's rinse and repeat. It's rinse and repeat. If you're living a life that is rinse and repeat, there is no effing way that you have a goal and you are making decisions every day to get you closer to whatever that is. If you're on rinse and repeat. Because like you're making no progress. There's no movement. You're doing nothing that's getting you closer to something that is so important to you.
Yes. Oh, I love. There's a couple of things flashbacks that you caused me to have in my head. So I'm going to try to let me go here and see where this takes us, Jen. It was back. I think it was 2019. A friend of mine, Adam Grant, had posed a question of what have you learned over the past decade, not this year, this past decade that you can take and apply that will be transformative for the next decade, right? And man, I remember I spent about 6 weeks thinking about that. And it's like, there's a lot of things, of course, there's a lot of shit that we learned, but it really came to the question of what are the big things that I've been living through, kind of like your point, kind of rinse and repeat, that I've changed, that shifted that rinse and repeat, like lowered the amount of time I was spending in rinse and repeat. It's like, And so there were 3 big things that came out of it, right? So I'm just going to limit it to 3. And then it was a question, like one was I spent over 6 figures keeping myself out of prison. That was I didn't budget that money, right? Like I spent a lot of money because of the decisions I was making in alcohol and driving and all this stuff. And I came out with some money. There wasn't, sure, it was a good investment because it kept me pretty and my delicate self out of jail, but it didn't have any impact beyond me.
Right.
So clearly I have money that if it was over 6 figures, 10 years, I could invest on purpose 10 grand a year to do something amazing. I'm going to start doing that. right? So we don't need to go to the other ones, but that was a big reflection of like, oh, so the signal, right, was there's something there. I have resources that I can reallocate in a different place and go forward. When I started doing that, that then started helping me see other things. And again, I call them whispers versus noise. So in Jesse land, I know my path. And I know you know this, you're experiencing this, Jen, and I think everybody else out there, you get invited to a lot of cool shit. Right? Because you're awesome, and because everybody, the No BS tribe is awesome. So there's a lot of opportunities that get presented to us. My filter now is it's always noise. The first signal, the first contact, the first data point, I just have to decide it's all noise. It's not a signal, it's not a sign from the gods. It's just noise. When I start calling it whispers, when it starts becoming a signal, is when there's this idea that Keon and I were meeting that you're going to be involved with is going to transform the industry. This started happening 2 or 3 years ago where there was a thing like, man, there's this idea like, oh, that sounds great. Awesome. Noise. The other person, okay, that sounds good, but it's still noise. Another experience and so there were these multiple data points, right? So another way to kind of frame it, what I call whispers is their data points. And so what I'm responding to or kind of in tune with, because I know what my direction is when I see these opportunities or things that come in front of me, when I see signals from different groups of people, different demographics, different angles in my life that converge, that's a signal. If it's only coming from one person or, one part of the country or just like one idea, one thought, and I don't see a connection or anywhere else, it's just noise. That's it.
I like that.
When I start seeing the connectivity, like, oh, you said that, y'all are not connected. There's a signal there that I need to go and consider and explore and understand more. Now, back to kind of the idea, because I know what my direction is, it gives shape to what the signals are, which ones I should pay attention to, right? It also further informs what is a signal and what is noise. If I don't have a direction, guess what? Everything is a sign.
Yes. So I have some follow-ups based on some things you just said. So number one, I love that you said a lot of things, but I think I'm going to pull out some things that I know I've experienced. Is number one, it helps with the people that are in your community and in your tribe to make sure you know theirs.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So it's so number one is if you're hanging out with some really cool people and you know that, hey, I think we jive, I think we're aligned. Okay. Like number one, don't assume. And so that's my mantra going into next year. Just ask. That's my mantra going in. That's my 2026 mantra. But like, Jesse, what is your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? Because number one, you get really clear and understand on if you're going to provide signals or noise to Jesse. And this is how I've learned this, is that you have learned, you learn. So it's the people you're around. You've created some trust. You have some people that, but Jesse helped me really quick because in my mind, I can see the connections. I can see, oh, Jesse needs to meet this person or Jesse needs to do this because I know his goal. Okay, so that's step one, is understanding the person's goal or the person you're trying to connect. Make sure that you understand that. The second part is you got to say it. Because I can, and this is a prime example, is I know all the things, and I've had enough conversations with Jesse where I can go, man, Jesse needs to be connected to this person because of this. I had a conversation with them. They're aligned. They like the trades. They're working. Like all the things are in my head. And when I see them on social media and I tag Jesse, because all the things like Jesse, you need to be in this space. Y'all need to know each other. Y'all are going to do amazing things. And I just tag him. he's called me out so many times, and so I'm better now, is like, not only do you have to ask, but you have to say it. So
Yes.
Jesse, I just met Rodney, and Rodney is all about the trades. And Rodney is all about how can we do better. And like, Rodney's my guy, y'all need to connect. It doesn't take that much, but it helps Jesse noise signal.
Yes.
Noise.
Signal.
So we're talking about ourselves, but we also know we are a tribe, we are a community, and there's a group of us that are trying to make this industry better. And if we're doing it together, like we need to ask, and we need to be clear, and we need to say the things that the connections we're making in our heads. Like, we need to be clear to do that, because it's noise to Jesse until it gets clear.
Yeah, 100%. And it's beautiful. So I want to give the other side of it,
Yes.
right? Because I love that. That's a freaking great example. And I'll give a secondary example. Because I've decided that everything on first touch, the first signal is, or the first thing is always noise.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I like to play.
Yeah.
Right. And if I don't just have some mechanism to say, nope, ignore it because it's nothing, I'm going to go freaking do it.
Yes.
So when you say, we'll use that example, like, hey, you should meet so-and-so. And that's all I get, noise.
Yep.
But when you followed up like, hey, did you talk? I was like, no, I didn't. Like, why would I? I tagged you. Like, I know you did. That doesn't tell me anything.
Yep.
Noise. But now you understand. It's like, I need to understand why. So there's a feel like, okay, I'm not trying to be shitty, but like, no. I don't understand. It wasn't on the list today. And so it helps us get clear. Like, you need to talk to so-and-so. So for me, that first, hey, I want you to meet my friend, or here's a group text. Y'all should get to know each other. That's noise for me. I'm not going to like jump into it. But when you clarify, hey, Jess, this is why, they're like, okay, I understand now. Okay, let's give it some time. Let's give it some energy. Another real example that I know I've offended people, not on purpose, but it's what it is. Hey, you should read this book. Okay. Why? Because you would like it. Okay, I like comic books, right? Like, I don't collect them anymore. So for me, that's noise. You should read this book. Noise. How do I filter that out?
Have you read it?
Have you freaking read it? Right. One, if and when I read a book that you've referred to me, and if it's garbage, I will never take a recommendation from you again. But that's a Jesse thing, right? Secondly, if you make a recommendation to read a book, have you read it, and what have you applied? I'm gonna like, when you read it, what did you get out of it, and what have you applied? Like, what have you used from the book? When people, and I've had people say, like, man, you're such a pain in the ass. Like, I'm like, okay, like, I'm sorry, but thank you. Like, I have a book list a mile long. I'm not just gonna add it. I don't. Anyways, point being, that's a filter. That's a way I kind of, maybe a concrete way of thinking about separating the signals from the noise. Noise is, you should read this book. You should, I mean, shit, Instagram tells me that all the freaking time. I don't go buy every book that they recommend, right? And so I have some mechanisms in place to like differentiate signal from noise. What informs that? Having a direction, right? Had I not selected my direction, then maybe it's coming from a good recommendation, but it's on how to flip houses. That sounds like that's a pretty good idea. That's a lucrative idea. I would chase that if I didn't have a direction. But guess what? I don't want to flip houses. It's going to take me away from serving people and connecting with people in the degree that I want to. So, beautiful idea. Do I have the resources to do something like that? Sure, I do. But it's not on the path. Sorry, I'm not going to be a house flipper. Well, at least not this year. So I love that you brought that up. But anyways, point being, folks, I hope what you're getting from this is like, when you have a direction, it gives form to what is a signal and what is noise.
You get to decide, you see, right?
Guys,
you get to decide. You get to decide.
That's it.
Like
yes.
Nobody gets to say, well, that's not fair, or that you're judging, or you're like, why are you being so mean? Or like, no, like they can say it, but it doesn't matter. You get to decide.
Yeah. Yep. So folks, I want to remind you, there's still some time. We got about 9 minutes before we do the randomizer. So if you're out there lurking, you already know I love you, my little lurker. But if you want to get in the randomizer, drop a comment, ask your question. Even if you like jump in and say, man, Jess, you're full of crap. You make things more harder than they need to be. That counts. It'll get you in the randomizer. Oh, look, perfect timing. Christopher Johnson, he says, great reinforcement. Yes, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. See, Christopher just showed us randomizer coming in a few minutes. All right, Jen, how do you filter the signals from the noise?
I'm doing better at it. I didn't used to be very good at this, just because I think as our community's grown and as the asks have come in, and I want to share. I want to be in places where I can continue to share the things that are important to me, and also how are we making this industry better. But for me, it was, I have to put it through the filter of, like, right now, valuing the person in front of me, and it's evolved to not just valuing the person in front of me, but valuing the person and the people that are in their lives. So for me, it's the decisions I'm making. Is it reaching beyond what's the person that I'm talking to right now, whether it's their home life, whether it's decisions they're making, whether it's their work, is it hard? Like, all the things, I have to put that through a filter. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not good at that, because my default, and if you don't know this already, is I want to help everybody. I want to do everything, because I know that if they're asking me, something triggered them to ask. So there was a need, there was a want, and I don't like not being able to give people things like that. So I have literally had to create a filtering system outside of myself. So, and it depends on the ask, but for speaking engagements, I'm going to use that, because you said we get asked to do a lot of things. Things that I'm very passionate about, whether it's people that I love and they're my people and I want to be where they are, or it's the topic. But because I only have so many hours that I can be places, I've had to create, like you call it your board of directors, but I've had to create people that can help me. I had to be clear and tell them what my goal was. I had to be clear and tell them what my purpose is, what I want to do, what I don't want to do. And now when things come in that I'm like, yes, shiny thing. I want to do these things because they're important. Hey, what do you think based on what I said? And that's hard, because I still get to make the decision. But I think the more that I have used certain individuals to help me vet, they're getting clear on the things I'm saying yes to and getting clear on the things I'm saying no to. So it's so much quicker now, Jesse, than me fretting about it or feeling bad about it. And so now I can be very clear on, and some of them are like blog posts or webinars or things like very easy. Like, I could say yes or no, but I'm like, oh, so I'll ask and get some feedback. And then, hey, let me know what your goals are for next year and what topics are you really trying to focus on for your audience. And then I'll let you know if that aligns with mine. I mean, like, I've never responded like that to something where it's like someone wants to know what I have to say. Now it's right. Make sure what you're trying to do for your people is aligned to what is important to me. And so to me, that's been the biggest, I guess, next step for me to help me get clear on signals versus noise.
Oh, you just opened up another can of worms. So Mr. Christopher from Hilti dropping bombs. He says, true to mission, true to self. Agreed. The challenge there is, have you picked your freaking mission, and do you know yourself? Oh. Anyways, I'm sorry, Chris. I'm not challenging you, bro. I'm just putting that out there for the Omniverse. That could have come across wrong. I didn't mean it that way. Now you brought something up, Jen, that's in line with what Christopher said, right? True to mission, true to self. How seductive glamour is.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say glamour, being invited to be a keynote speaker, be on a panel, contribute to a blog, like, man, that feels good. Well, for me, I'm like, people actually like me. It's going to take energy. It's going to take focus. You're going to be like, unless you're going to be on a live stream with me, which means we're going to lock in a date and we're going to live stream.
Yes.
Most people, what that means is freaking 12 damn prep calls to walk through. It's work, right? Being a keynote is work. There's a lot of administrative front end things that need to happen. It's massive, but it's easy to say yes to that because, man, I want to be on stage. Like, they love me. They really love me. Like, it is seductive. So having my advisory council helps me, like, Jess, you're doing it again, right? Or kind of helps filter, bring opportunities that are aligned and all that other thing. Now, in that path, and this one I think is really important, is the 2 points in my career, I was offered pretty awesome jobs, right? When I had a real job, like pretty significant enterprise influence, national influence, but I knew it's not what I wanted to do, right? Like I absolutely, and I remember having, it was with 2 different companies. I remember having that couple, this was like, that sounds, I understand that. I don't want to do that. The conditions around that, like in one case I had to move and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's not, it's taking me away because I like working with people. I'm a grassroots style dude. Like that takes me away from the field. Well, but think about it this way. You can have more impact. Like, I don't give a shit. I want to see it. I want to experience it. I don't want to orchestrate it. Same thing with that other national role, which was that was a pretty freaking awesome deal. But I knew it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't on my path. Now that was before I got like super clear about what path, what direction I was picking. Mm-hmm. And so maybe this is something for folks out there that'll help, again, make sense of it. Before I knew I had to pick a direction, or before I decided to pick my direction, what I was paying attention to, like what I was clear about, was what I didn't want to do.
Okay.
And so sometimes it's like, you don't have to, like, just start figuring out what the hell you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. Now, those jobs, like, had I been offered those positions 5 or 10 years before they were like put in front of me, I probably would have took them, because the title and, the status and all the other stuff that comes with it would have distracted me into doing that. And I would have been miserable. 100%, no doubt. I would have been miserable. And so maybe back to the point of, are your decisions tied to your direction? When you have selected a direction, or if you're miserable right now, like you're not experiencing some degree, and I'm not talking about like, everything is beautiful. I'm not talking about that bull. I'm talking about like, if you are not feeling some degree of fulfillment and joy on the regular, maybe you should start figuring out what you don't like, then pick a direction, and then start doing all these other things. Am I going too far, Jen?
No, Jesse. And for me, and people know, like, I get excited every day when I get up out of bed. Like, I don't know what it is. I had several conversations this week with several of our leaders, and we were talking, and you could tell they were just like, I was like, I'm just having fun. And like, that's not something they would hear, but I'm just like, right. and I'm going to keep doing this because I'm having fun. And yes. It's genuine, it's real, because I every day get up and I get excited about what's in front of me. If that's not what you're feeling, again, there's people at all different phases of life. You don't need to like rethink your whole life plan, but like, if you're not excited every day when you get up, maybe you don't have the goal, maybe you don't have your path, maybe the direction you're going is not, where you need to be. Like, it doesn't mean all of a sudden I'm going to cancel everything today, but like, start thinking about that. What does get me excited? What do I get energized about? What groups of people like raise me up, and what other ones I leave and I'm like, ugh, like just start evaluating those little things, because Jesse, the point is a lot of things that I realized I didn't want to do, I didn't know it until I did it.
Truth.
It's like, I can say yes, no now because I experienced them and they sucked.
Yes.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here. I don't like this. What choices can I make today that would change some of this tomorrow. And it's not going to be a 360 everything. I mean, like 180, whatever it is. Like, it's not going to be that for everything. But you absolutely can stop and just like if you're not living that life. I mean, Jesse, we're not spring chickens. Like we've made some really big choices in the last 4 to 5 years on things we've done that have completely changed like our trajectory and the choices we're making and the lives we're living. And we didn't have all that figured out 10 years ago.
Truth.
I mean, so it's like, it's never too late, but also like, it's the little things that if you feel like you're doing something over and over and like, this doesn't feel good. Okay. Then just stop and evaluate one thing. What does make me feel good? What person makes me feel miserable every time I interact with them? What person fills me with something a little that feels better? Like what are those people? And you can start thinking about, I need to be more in these spaces. I need to stop saying yes to these things. Like it starts with you just doing something. Yeah.
Amen, sister. All right. Well, it is time for the randomizer. Are you ready, Jen? Are you excited?
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Oh, I know what I need to do. All right, here we go. Randomizer time. Remember, if your name gets selected, you get 1 month pass to Emotional Bungee Jumpers and the cultivation. Oh,
do it again.
Push it again.
Do it again.
Who's Step Builder? Where did that come from? All right, one more time.
Here we go. Come on.
Let's do it. Here we go. Ooh, who's it gonna be? Oh, we got a new one, Mr. Alec. Alec, keep an eye out. I am going to be probably DMing you in the LinkedIn, or I'll find your email address. I'll send you a calendar invite. If you're available, it'd be awesome for you to come and be a part of that. I'm just going to tell you like straight up, folks that have participated or been a part of the Emotional Bungee Jumpers in the past, it is the type of experience that you either hate or love.
Or you hate, but you know you need it. So you just like, it's like you're eating something that you don't like, but it's good for you. It's like that.
100%. 100%. It's like, in some cases, it's like eating your vegetables. Yes. Oh, look, Steve Martin says it's rigged. I love it. Oh, man, this is too much fun. All right, Jen, what do you think? You think we should slap them with the last question?
One last question. I think that's a good idea.
All right. Oh, it's kind of perfectly timed. No, that's not the right one. This is the right one.
Okay.
What am I saying yes to that does not match my direction? So folks out there, like for real, I'll give you extra bonus points if you answer this in the comments. Not because I want you to share all your garbage, but because I want everybody in the Omniverse to know that they are not alone. Because we are all doing this sort. And I'm going to go first. What do you think about that, Jen?
Go for it.
What am I saying yes to that does not match my direction? I even have a prop for this. Oh. What do you think that is, Jen?
Sopapillas.
Right? No, it's sopapillas, quesadilla, and nachos.
Jesse, none of those are on your path for marathon, triathlon.
Right? Like straight up. That's just perfect timing. My point in sharing that, look at that, Chris says, thanks for the jump shot. Yeah, man. Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming. And thank you for contributing, bro. Like for real, ultimate. And the reason I want to share that is hopefully that doesn't tell people like, oh, just go do it. Like, no. The reason I wanted to share that example is because it's freaking hard. Like it takes real effort to only make decisions that are in line with my direction. My goal is by the end of one of the goals is by next year, I'll be hitting 50, right? My birthday is going to be 50 years old. And I want to complete a full Ironman before I turn 50. Nachos and quesadillas are not contributing to that path. Do I eat them every day? No, I don't. Sometimes I make decisions. And so back to maybe a broader, if I zoom out, like what am I saying yes to that does not match my direction? The one that I do most frequently is eating. I am saying yes to juicy, fatty, delicious, low nutritious food. Like that is the thing I say yes to that does not match my direction. And so hopefully that's a good, what do you think? Is that a good kind of anchor example, Jen?
Yes, very much.
How about you? Do you do any?
It kind of feeds into some of the things we've talked about today. So Jesse, like, again, I love what I do. And I love the work that we get to do. I love the work that I do within my firm. Like I love all the things. Because I know it's impacting people and it's changing lives. I know that. Because of that, I say yes to a lot of things that feeds that, and it takes away the value that I have for my children that are right in front of me. So like, yes, I can jump on a call. Yes, I can go make that trip. Yes, I can do that. I can get you that because it's important to me. And this has been the hardest thing for me and I'm getting better, but I love what I do. So like, it's not like, oh, I got to go do this. I get excited about it, but it takes away from the value that I have placed on my children and the time I spend with them. I mean, It's like, and it's not like, Jennifer, that sucks. Like, oh, real world problems. But like, if I'm saying this is my goal, that if you're in front of me, Jesse, you're the most important thing. If my child is in front of me, they're the most important thing. Oh, but let me get on my phone. Let me go get my computer. Let me go do that real fast. Hey, I'll be there like 15 minutes. Like, am I valuing the person in front of me?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It's been a hard one because I love what I do, but Jennifer, yes, and this is the person in front of you. This is the commitment you made, and no one's going to hold you accountable but you. What are you going to do? That's the it's been the struggle, but it's also like, okay, then you're going to have to make this decision, and you're going to, and like if that's what you believe and that's what you want, like you have to do it. You can't just say it and then let them be second tier important.
Oh, you just brought up a really good point that I hope maybe it's just obvious to everybody and I missed it. And kind of couples with what Christopher says. I don't mind the challenge from my tribal council, Jesse. When I'm clear, like here's maybe a warning. Okay. When you're freaking clear about your direction to you, mm-hmm. you will start signaling to everybody what your direction is. Yep. And if you want a super fast shortcut, freaking tell them.
Yep.
Right? Because they will call you on it.
They will.
Right? Like my nachos and sopapillas, like automatic, you already knew, like, what the hell are you doing? I thought you were doing this thing. Right.
Yeah.
And so then maybe that's I don't know if that's a negative or a positive, but just heads up, right? When you start getting real clear, people will recognize that and bring it to your attention. And there's value there, but it's also, it can be irritating, right? Like piss off, I know what I'm doing. Or, I don't have the same situation, but I know that with like significant others and family members, they're going to say like, yeah, you're talking shit, but that ain't really what you're doing with me. Because my mom tells me that all the time. Like, you're so nice and you talk so well and you're fun and energetic. When you're on the internet, I'm like, oh, shit. Why? Because I'm grouchy around her. Anyways, point being, heads up. When you start getting clear and you invite people in and allow people to speak into your life, they may say some things that sting a little bit. And that's okay. What do you think, Jen?
No, I have a prime example that I get to help as we close out today is sometimes asking another person, sharing it with another person, but you have to be clear. So today we usually do an after party after the live stream because we want to have follow-up conversation. Now, again, we're on an off week, but also because it's an off week, I already had plans today because my daughters and I are doing Wreaths Across America. And and so huge deal. We do it every year. It's a big deal. And it's right after this. So as Jesse and I are planning, I'm like, Jesse, I'm going to be in the car, but we can do this, but I can't. And we just kept going back and forth. And Jesse's like, okay, so what are you saying? And I'm just like, Jesse, I don't think we can do the after party today. And he's like, okay, that sounds great. We'll just do it next week. And so I'm like, still like, I can be with my girls in the car, but I can be on the phone. And I'm literally, I still like when I say that, like, I'm still struggling with this, I still struggle with it because this is important to me. But so are they. And I had to say it to Jesse, and he's like, and finally I'm like, we're just not going to do it. He's like, I think that's a great idea. So like, you got to have those conversations, which means you got to have the right people around you that can hold you accountable, but also just let you get out of your head. Because that's where I live a lot of times.
Yes. I think that's a beautiful closing point. So folks, if you missed it, we are not doing an after party today. But we are going to be live next week. So back to back, this is a once in a lifetime, rather a first in a no BS lifetime experience. We'll be doing back to back live streams. So we will be back again next Saturday. Don't know what the topic's going to be, but I know it's going to be awesome because we had some really good comments from the folks out there. And so I want to, Steve Martin and I, just so y'all know, we're tinkering with the idea of flipping houses together. Miss Sarah, our sister Sarah, she says, such a good topic. I need to go back and listen. She was out with her daughter and she's getting certified as a lifeguard today. So amazing. And so folks, if something helped you, let me know, right? Like put the damn thing into practice. If it didn't make sense, you got questions, hit us up. I'd love to have this conversation further. And if you're already there, keep an eye out on your people. Maybe they could use a little bit of insight in terms of this idea of thinking or viewing, approaching life from a selection of a direction versus what's the 5 and 10 year goal. If that works for you, keep doing that. But it's not the only way. Yes. Is that fair, Jen?
Yes.
All right. Well, it is time for the new choreography. You got the music?
You got the dance?
I do. All right. Let's go.